Montalvo Broadcasting Network. Support MBN, Montalvo Broadcasting Network, and shop with us over at Montalvo Store. Go to ebay.com and search in the advanced search. Type in Montalvo Store. Now support Montalvo Broadcasting Network. We have a wide array of books on conspiracy, apparel, and much more. Support your favorite radio station, Montalvo Broadcasting Network, by visiting Montalvo Store on ebay.com.
With SRN News, I'm Michael Harrington in Washington. The Senate's second-ranking Republican says a fear of frivolous lawsuits is putting a damper on medical caregivers and small business owners, too.
Senator John Thune says the recently passed House bill focuses on handing out more relief money
without thought to the consequences for future generations.
He says what's really needed is assurances for those driving the U.S. economy.
We need to make sure that medical professionals and small businesses and others can get back to running their operations and employing Americans without worrying that an army of trial lawyers is about to descend.
Republicans insist liability protections must be part of any new coronavirus relief package. Bob Agnew reporting.
United Airlines delivers bad news to some of its employees.
Reuters is reporting that United Airlines told flight attendants on a conference call that it will have work for only 3,000 of its 25,000 attendants in June. And the carrier says there are more job losses on the horizon if passenger demand does not recover by this fall, when government payroll assistance expires.
Correspondent Keith Peters. In separate warnings, two major European leaders have told their citizens that the world needs to adapt to live with the coronavirus and cannot wait to be saved by a vaccine. The comments by Italian Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte and British Prime Minister Boris Johnson come as both nations around the world and the U.S. are struggling with the increasing need to reactivate economies blindsided by the pandemic. With 36 million people newly unemployed in the U.S. alone, that economic pressure is building, even as authorities acknowledge the risks of kicking off new waves of infections by reopening. Tropical storm Arthur inching closer to the East Coast today, expected to strengthen and make impact on North Carolina this evening. Arthur formed off the coast of Florida yesterday, making it the sixth straight year for a named storm to develop before June 1st. This is SRN News. A leading Christian researcher says the major polling companies have a blind spot.
A lot of the online polling underestimates Christians, underestimates certain kinds of Christian conviction.
David Kinnaman is president of the Barna Group.
A lot of the big polling companies don't know how to think about faith as important as any demographic factor, and so they often underrepresent the voice of certain kinds of Christians.
He says that might be part of the reason that major pollsters didn't think Donald Trump could win the presidency in 2016. One pro-life pregnancy center in California is helping provide supplies to mothers in lockdown. Alternatives Pregnancy Center in Sacramento has been handing out diapers and baby wipes to people around the city who can't afford them or find them. Spokesman Heidi Matzke says, quote, when this pandemic hit, we had people calling our clinic who lost their jobs and needed diapers. At this point, people were hoarding diapers and wipes, so we gave them out. This is SRN News. Couples trying to salvage weddings put on hold by the virus are feeding a fresh new trend in the bridal industry.
Instead of waiting, a growing number of couples are tying the knot alone or with just a few local loved ones looking on while others join virtually. The couples then plan to reschedule larger, more traditional celebrations when conditions permit. It's born of necessity and is a play on micro-weddings, the first choice for some couples looking for a more intimate experience or unable to afford bigger affairs. The average cost of weddings pre-pandemic, just under $34,000. Rich Thomason reporting.
Today is Sunday, May the 17th, and some famous people are celebrating a birthday today, including sports announcer Jim Nantz, who is 61 years old. Boxing Hall of Famer Sugar Ray Leonard turned 64 today. Singer Jordan Knight is 50. TV personality Kathleen Sullivan, 67. This is SRN News.
Bruce Montalvo.
Continues to spread conspiracy theories.
Penchant for promoting bogus conspiracies as though they were fact.
Montalvo.
About his conspiracy theory. Bruce Montalvo is the only radio talk show host that's not controlled. You're listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show.
Bruce Montalvo here in the Bruce Mobile, and see a lot of zombies around here wearing their masks. It's the new normal now. The new normal is to be obsessive compulsive disorder, and wash your hands every 5 minutes and restrict your breathing. Oh yes, that's smart. Yes, restrict your breathing by putting on a fucking mask. Look at some of these dopes back here. You'll see some of these idiots going into Trader Joe's wearing a mask. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm gonna get the COVID. Oh my god. And the news just keeps beating you over the head with it. Beating you over the head. Virus. And the world has gone socialist overnight with all these commie Trump bucks they're giving out. You know, it's like the United States is like a credit card, and you're just giving everybody money, but there's no money in the bank account. So what do you expect to happen? Look at that. Look at that zombie. You see that? It's a zombie. They're everywhere. I'm going to tell them. COVID-19 is an inside job. 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 You can hear me. Or can they? You know, trying to wake up these people is useless. It's useless now. You know, before you used to, Morpheus would give you the blue pill. He ran out of blue pills. Now it's a red pill. Actually, it's a suppository straight up your ass. A red pill suppository straight up your ass. So, COVID-19 is inside job. Fauci and the Jesuits are getting you to surrender your rights over a flu. Oh my god, I need my mask. Oh, I can't leave the house without my mask. Oh my god, look at that fucking idiot over there. I see you in my rear view. Through my rear view, I see a lot of stupidity. And people just acquiescing to letting their rights be taken away. How many rights are you going to allow COVID-19 to take from you? Right? I mean, what the fuck? Is Fauci like Bela Lugosi or something? He's like Bela Lugosi in the movie The Bat. You know that bat's just flying around everywhere, just killing people and stuff? Oh, look at those old farts with masks. Oh my god, we have like underlying conditions. You go to a restaurant, you get takeout, you're like, hey, there's nobody here, can I eat here? No! Go away! You're gonna get me sick! You're gonna kill me! Oh my god, I need my mask! I need my mask now! I need my mask. I don't feel safe without my mask. Oh no! Okay, this bozo doesn't have a mask, but he probably has it in his pocket. So they're pushing the social distancing. Oh my god, keep your social distance from me. Yeah? What about all these 5G towers, huh? Are they gonna socially distance these things from us? No. They're putting them everywhere. I'm driving around everywhere right now. And I'm seeing these 5G towers being erected. But It's just beyond draconian, beyond Pavlovian. You know, they really shouldn't call it social distancing. They should just call it what it is. Call it social engineering. Call it just that. Pavlovian conditioning, classical conditioning. That's what that is. Like I said, they're getting you to acquiesce to the tyranny. They're getting you to accept, to obey through fear. They're getting you to obey the stars and stripes, which is really a military flag. So anytime you see the good old U.S. of A flying around, just know that's not the flag. That's a wartime flag. And the war couldn't be more obvious. It's a war on you. It's a war on you, on me, on everybody. And the new tinfoil hat is the face mask. You see, but the tinfoil hat was frowned upon. No, everybody wants you to wear this tinfoil hat over your face so that it suffocates you and you can't breathe. They want you dead. Don't you see? They want you to be deceased. They want you friggin' dead as a doornail, deader than Dillinger. And a lot of people are just going to line up and take Bill Tranny Gates, vaccine. You know how much money that guy's got invested in vaccines? Him and Fauci. Isn't it funny how the whole coronavirus task force works for Bill Gates? And Fauci and Bill Gates have money on vaccines, stock, and the stock market on vaccines. So it's obvious who is going to profit from this. Well, it's them. It's the World Health Order. But remember, these guys are front men. You got Bill Gates, Fauci. They're all front men. They're Jesuit front men. Because the end will justify their means. Their means are to get you to submit, to get you to cower, to get you to obey. We're literally living like in They Live right now. You know, COVID-19. This is like the Twilight Zone episode that they want to keep going and going and going like the fucking Easter Bunny. Or like the Energizer Bunny. As I said, this is Bruce Montalvo broadcasting from the road, on the road, from my Bruce Mobile, my truck, because I love my truck and I love my gun. I love my truck and I love my guns. So I'm in my truck and just telling you my view from the world, man. Bruce on the road, telling you this is a very exciting time for Jaja and I. While most people are going batshit crazy over the coronavirus, the certificate of vaccination ID 19, which is what COVID-19 stands for. Well, most people are losing their marbles over this. I'm packing my marbles, and Jaja and I just purchased a wonderful home, a beautiful home, but I don't know, like 9 or 12 acres. I got a freaking barn. Let me tell you, I grabbed my my Nike pigskin, my football, and I got literally like a football field like right behind my house, and I got a barn back there, like a steel kind of barn, and I got trucks all over me right now, all over the place. I'm at the United Porno Service. No, I'm not. I'm at the UPS, United Pot Smokers. I'm picking up some weed. But anyway, going back to my 12 acres, our 12 acres here. Most people are going batshit over the COVID, thinking they got the flu. Jaja and I said, okay, we'll socially distance ourselves. We'll go find our own friggin' kingdom, our own land, right? It's not really going to be your land. You're like You're like a governor for the queen, you know what I'm saying? She's letting you govern her land. This is my land. Anyway, I went out back. I grabbed my pigskin. And you know how they say you can't hit the side of a barnyard? Well, I hit the side of my barnyard from about 80 freaking yards. I just threw a mean 80-yarder. Boom. Just, you know, if it would have been good if it was a field goal kick. So I don't know. Maybe I'm going to do a stint in the XFL. Right? You're going to have quarterback Bruce Montalvo playing for the Los Angeles Diablos or whatever the hell they're called. Right? That's another thing. This whole COVID thing pretty much knocked out sports. Sports like boxing are saying that they're never gonna be the same. They're saying they want to have sports without fans. They want to bring baseball back, but no fans. Or maybe they're gonna bring back the fans. Or maybe the new normal is gonna be that they're gonna force you to cover your face because you are a walking, talking germ. You. Right? It's so stupid. Anybody that knows anything about airborne diseases knows that they don't last. Oh, it's airborne. No, it isn't. It dies in the air. They just like to say, oh, it's an airborne disease. Really? But I tell you, it's bad news for Trump right now. The longer this goes, they're going to lose confidence. So he sent them some commie money. Right? He sent them some free money, which is what I call commie money. And now the Democrats, they want to one-up Trump and send you they don't want to send you $12,000. $1,200. They want to send you $2,000. $2,000. Oh yeah, they gotta one up. They gotta trump the Trump, right? But I tell you, it's just crazy, the idea to think that ice cream has no bones. Biden. You go uphill for so long and without a paddle, and it just doesn't make sense because ice cream doesn't have bones. I mean, the pedophile Joe Biden who pinches little girls' nipples. I mean, they could literally put this guy in if coronavirus continues. I mean, Trump. The country's on the verge of revolution. He could lose. That's why they gave you that money, so that you don't revolt. And we'll be right back.
Montalvo Broadcasting Network. Support MBN, Montalvo Broadcasting Network, and shop with us over at Montalvo Store. Go to ebay.com and search in the advanced search. Type in Montalvo Store. Now support Montalvo Broadcasting Network. We have a wide array of books on conspiracy, apparel, and much more. Support your favorite radio station, Montalvo Broadcasting Network, by visiting Montalvo Store on ebay.com.
With SRN News, I'm Michael Harrington in Washington. Republicans are pushing hard to add new liability protections for companies that reopen during the virus outbreak.
Senator John Thune of South Dakota says the fear of lawsuits could be keeping some companies closed.
Businesses are worried that they could be held responsible if one of their employees develops coronavirus, even if the business took every reasonable precaution.
Thune also says some medical providers are withholding needed treatments for fear they'd be sued should a patient come into contact with the coronavirus. Bob Agnew reporting.
Turkey's senior citizens allowed to leave their homes today for just the second time since the country went into coronavirus lockdown. People over the age of 65, the most vulnerable group, can be outside for 6 hours today, but their lockdown on the other 6 days of the week will continue. Puerto Rico will hold a non-binding referendum in November to decide whether the island should become the 51st U.S. state.
The announcement comes amid growing disillusion with the island's U.S. territorial status. For the first time in the island's history, the referendum will ask a single, simple question. Should Puerto Rico be immediately admitted as a U.S. state? The answer requires approval from Congress and a question that's outraged independent supporters and members of the main opposition Popular Democratic Party. But it's a gamble the governor's pro-statehood party is confident will pay off, given Puerto Rico struggling to obtain federal funds for hurricanes, earthquakes, and the pandemic. Ron DeRockster reporting.
An explosion Saturday at a hash oil manufacturer in downtown Los Angeles injured 11 firefighters. 3 were listed in critical condition, but medical officials say they will most likely survive. The LA Fire Department says one significant blast shook the neighborhood about 6:30 p.m. Firefighters inside the building and on the roof had to run for their lives. This is SRN News. The U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom wants India listed as a country of particular concern.
This is something we've been warning India about some period of time, that this sort of Hindu nationalism trend has bad effects.
Sam Brownback is the Trump administration's point man on religious liberty.
We're seeing it seep more and more into the political landscape in India, but even more bothersome than that is how much communal violence has been erupting.
Brownback is U.S. Ambassador at Large for International Religious Freedom. A spokesman for Turkish President Erdogan says the iconic Hagia Sophia will eventually be turned into a mosque again. The historic building, constructed as a Byzantine church in 537, became a mosque nearly 600 years ago when the Muslims conquered Istanbul. It has since 1935 simply been a museum. This is SRN News. The Italian government is easing travel restrictions imposed by the virus.
Italy imposed nationwide lockdown rules in early March after it became the first country outside Asia with a major outbreak of coronavirus. But the government has gradually reopened the country as the rates of infections and deaths have fallen. Social distancing rules are being implemented in the sectors of the economy that have reopened. Now the government has given the green light to some areas of international travel. As of June 3, there'll be no quarantine requirement for people coming in from outside Italy. However, officials have not yet been specific on where Italians themselves can travel to. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Today is Sunday, May the 17th. It is the 138th day of 2020. On this date in history, 1792, the New York Stock Exchange had its beginnings as a group of brokers met under a tree on Wall Street and signed the Button Wood Agreement. This is SRN News.
So, welcome back to the Bruce Montalvo Show on the road. I'm doing the show on the road. If you hear some things in the background, some trucks moving, it's because I'm here from, like I said, the United PES service, United Postal Service. We're getting our Wi-Fi put back on because Jaja and I just moved into a palatial 9-acre house, and it's the life, let me tell you. I'm in touch with the great spirit out there. It's what real Arizona living is like. So we're out here getting the modem for the very high-speed, fast internet we're about to get. But getting back into this world that we're calling the post-COVID world, it's like the post-apocalyptic world. Earlier at the beginning of this broadcast, I was making fun of people outside of Trader Joe's for wearing the mask. And I was making fun of them because they look goofy as hell. You know what I'm saying? They look like ninjas. They look like medics. And all of this is part of an Agenda 2030, climate change. Now you have the whole meat crisis going on, and they're letting pigs go to waste. They're just letting them pile up, a bunch of dead pigs. They don't want to sell you the bacon. They are having price gouging with the meat, with the steak. They're telling you, oh no, the steak is there's not enough steak, so you gotta wait your turn. You gotta wait in line. Everything's lines. The lines. Didn't Cartman predict this in South Park too? He shut down his own amusement park so that he could use it because he hates all the lines. Well, that's the thing about the post-COVID world. There's nothing but lines. There's so many movies predicted this with, like you have World War Z. It's literally like World War Z. This is like World War Z with the St. Mary's virus they had there. The St. Mary's being the Vatican. And they wore masks in there too. But this is the whole new Green New Deal thing. This is what's happening. This is what the whole world is going under, this whole Green New Deal thing. And it's just fascist, totalitarian, it's Orwellian, it's everything you ever read about in those books that they banned. And everybody's walking around looking like a fucking character from Mortal Kombat. Fight. Excellent. Mortal Kombat! Like fucking Scorpion, Johnny Cage, Liu Kang, Sub-Zero, Sonya, Kano. You know what I'm saying? They're all walking around with fucking masks and shit. I don't know. And they're thinking about doing this forever. Whether this might go on until 2028. That's right, the vaccine wars. Move over Star Wars. This is the vaccine wars. Okay, and it's going to go on till 2028. And this is an onslaught. Make no bones about it. This is a Jesuit onslaught on the whole world. Because they want a full totalitarian grip over the world. Okay, if the New World Order tells you can't have sex, you can't rub your eyeballs, you can't sneeze. So now it's not the Nazi, it's the not sneeze. Do not sneeze. Forget about Nazis, it's do not sneeze. And it's such a cult, Jesuit, sun worship in your face, okay, because what is the corona? Okay, the corona is the highest, most hottest part of the sun, and it's sun rays, and the corona radiates at a high temperature. Okay, so that's why I say, oh, you have a high temperature? Can I check your temperature? Well, the corona has a very high temperature. Oh, it's the hottest. Don't you see? Corona means sun, means eye. They're watching you. The sun worshippers are watching you. And they want you to look like fucking Scorpion or Sub-Zero. Anyway, if you've been listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show, Spreaker.com/the Bruce Montalvo Show is the place to go. That's Spreaker.com. That's where to go to join the chat. And the phone lines are down right now, but you normally call 480-382-8451. That's 480-382-8451. And I just want to say before, in closing, and ending this broadcast, I just want to say fuck the system, and you stay tuned to this broadcast, the Bruce Montalvo Show, defender of the truth, defender of freedom, fighting with truth. Some people may think, oh, that guy sounds like a nerd. He doesn't sound like a cholo. He doesn't sound like Alex Jones, but I tell you what, I'll kick your monkey ass with my fists and the truth. You've been listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show. See ya. Make sure your mask isn't on too tight.
Broadcasting Network.